historical events trivia quiz that takes place between 27 October and 3 November in history. Now, remember, the national days of the week we do in advance of the week to come. This week in history, we do over the week that has been. So if you've been paying attention to your local radio or news stations, maybe you know some of the answers to the questions. The questions are as new to me as they are to you. I am seeing them for the very first time. You were seeing them for the very first time. I did not look at them in advance. I do not know the answers to the questions. The goal is to go 7 for 7. That's the goal. It's always been the goal. Let's see if we can make the goal. Here we go. Question number 1. On October 28, 1886, which iconic statue was dedicated in New York Harbor? Now, there is a delay, and I usually wait for the delay when we have other people watching. But we're not, we didn't secure an audience this morning, so I'm buzz right through these pretty quick. What iconic statue was dedicated on October 28, 1886 in New York Harbor? There's only one statue in New York Harbor that comes to mind for just about anybody. Options: Statue of Liberty, Statue of Freedom, The Thinker. That would be awesome. Could you imagine Rodin's The Thinker in New York Harbor, just the size of the Statue of Liberty, just thinking so intently? Or Christ the Redeemer, which also would be cool in New York Harbor. It is the Statue of Liberty. There's no question. There's no doubt. Question number 2. October 29th, 1929, the U.S. stock market experienced a major crash, marking the start of what economic period? Hello, viewer. Good to see you. Now I have to slow it down because I got a viewer. No problem. October 29th, 1929, the stock market experienced a major crash, marking the start of what economic event? These are questions I often say that you know them, and if you don't know them, you don't know them. This one I immediately know, as most of you probably do too. After the stock market crash of October 29th, 1929, what happened next? Was it the Great Recession, the Panic of 1907, gone, the Great Depression, which I find to be hilarious, or the dot-com bubble? Remember, when using a multiple choice question, you can usually immediately eliminate 2 of the answers. And we know it's not the Panic of 1907 because we're talking about 1929. And we know it's not the dot-com bubble because there was no dot-coms in 1929. So we're left with the 2, the Great Depression and the Great Recession. And although depression is funnier, it is the Great Recession. These, again, are just my answers. I could be wrong. I may be wrong, and I may be crazy. October 30th, question number 3. October 30th, 1938. What famous broadcast by Orson Welles caused public panic as listeners believed the alien invasion was real? You know it or you don't know it. It's that easy. It's Orson Welles. It's War of the Worlds. That's the answer. Let's see what our multiple choice options were. Frankenstein, The Invisible Man, War of the Worlds, or Time Machine, The Time Machine. Well, if you read the question, you read the answer, alien invasion, it clearly wasn't Frankenstein, it wasn't The Invisible Man, it wasn't Time Machine. The answer was in the multiple choice answers, but right off the top, you know it, you know it. Question number 4. On October 31st, 1517, going a little far back, Martin Luther nailed his 95 Theses to the church door in Wittenberg, sparking what major religious movement? Hello, viewers. October 31st, 1517, Martin Luther, not King and not Junior, okay, just Martin Luther, nailed 95 Theses to the church door in Wittenberg, sparking what major religious movement? Was it the Enlightenment? Was it the Crusades? Was it the Great Schism? Or was it the Protestant Reformation? Those are your guesses. I mean, those are your possible answers. I don't know for sure on this one. I'm pretty good with the history, but 1517 is pushing some brain cells. I am going to go with the Protestant Reformation. That's what I'm going to go with. I believe it could be the Enlightenment, but I really don't think it is. The Crusades were all church-driven, and the Great Schism is just makes me think of Tool songs. I'm going to go question number 4, the Protestant Reformation. Question number 5, on November 1st, 1993. Now we're talking history I can get around. October 1st, 1993, what European treaty officially established the European Union? Oh, shoot. The chances of going 7 for 7 have dramatically decreased. November 1st, 1993, which European treaty officially established the European Union? Here are your options. Was it the Maastricht Treaty? Maastricht, Maastricht. Was it the Treaty of Versailles? Was it the Treaty of Rome? Or was it the Lisbon Treaty? So I think we know it was a treaty. Those are our 4 options. I do not believe it was the Treaty of Versailles. I believe that's what ended World War I. I've never heard of the Treaty of Rome or the Lisbon Treaty. And the Maastricht Treaty just feels like it's probably the one. I'm thinking long. I'm thinking hard. Long and hard, he says. Was it November 1st, 1993, what European treaty officially established the European Union? James, finally showing up, he's going to Charlie out with Rome. Lisbon's a fun city. Rome's a fun city. I'm going to go with the Maastricht. I'm going with answer A. That's my guess. James is going with C. Because James is a regular participant, I'm going to give him a chance to catch up. So just bear with me for a second. Mr. Taney, please be sure to answer quickly. Here we go. Question number 1, October 28th, 1886, which iconic statue was dedicated in New York Harbor? That's question number 1. It shouldn't be hard for you to do. Iconic statue dedicated New York Harbor. Question number 2, October 29th, 1929. The U.S. stock market experienced a major crash, marking the start of what economic event? He goes Lady Liberty. I agree. Was it the Great Recession or the Great Depression? Because I took out the stupid answers for you. October 23rd, 1938. Which famous broadcast by Orson Welles caused public panic as listeners believed an alien invasion was real? It was the Great Depression. Oh, no, it was not the Great Depression. God bless it, James. We don't know the answer, but that's your answer. But we don't know that you're wrong until we officially know you're wrong. War of the Worlds is correct. October 31st, 1517, Martin Luther nailed his 95 Theses to the church door in Wittenberg, sparking what major religious movement? I will give you the options here. The Enlightenment, the Crusades, the Great Schism, or the Protestant Reformation. Moving on to question 5, you have answered with the Treaty of Rome. I decided to go with the Maastricht Treaty. Question number 6. On November 2nd, 1947, which famous billionaire piloted his massive H-4 Hercules, the Spruce Goose, aircraft for the first and only time? Young Elon Musk? No, I know who this is. Here are your options. Was it Henry Ford, Howard Hughes, J.P. Morgan, or Charles Lindbergh? He's going with the Reformation for question number 4. He's already answered number 5. Famous billionaire flying the Spruce Goose. Who was it? And finally, yes, correct, Howard Hughes. I agree with you. Finally, Howard Hughes. Question number 7. On November 3rd, 1957, the Soviet Union launched Sputnik 2, which carried the first living creature into orbit. What was the creature? What kind of animal was the first animal in space? Was it a dog, a cat, a monkey, or a mouse? Sputnik 2 took the first living creature into orbit. What was it? Mr. Taney's going with dog. And I believe he is wrong. And I don't know why that started to sound like Kennedy a little bit. And I believe he is wrong. But officially, I also believe he is right. Because I believe the Russians probably launched a whole bunch of things. The only thing to come back, the only thing that to come back alive that they took video of that they released to the world was a dog. I believe they killed a lot of animals before they brought that dog back successfully. So I'm going with dog also. Here, anytime, my friend, anytime. Just next time, be on time. Here are this week's answers. Did we go 7 for 7? Number 1 was, of course, the Statue of Liberty. Number 2 was the Great Depression. How did I get that jacked up in my simpleton brain? It was the Great Depression, and I chose the Great Recession. I feel so stupid. Too smart for my own good. I am not going to go 7 for 7, but Mr. Taney can. War of the Worlds, we both agreed. The Protestant Reformation, we both agreed. He chose the Treaty of Rome, which was wrong. Wrong. It was, in fact, the Maastricht Treaty. Howard Hughes, we both chose correctly. And a dog, we both chose correctly. He missed one. I missed one. 6 for 7 still isn't shabby. But the elusive 7 for 7 got me again with just rhyming words. It's always a fun way to start a Sunday. I look forward to it. I hope you do too. Ladies and gentlemen, I remind you today, as I remind you every day, just be the best person that you can be. And if you were a great person today, be an even better person tomorrow.